Okay, so let's start with a few things here. This is all the stuff that I brought back from Montana, walking different ranchers' lands. They're all, I've categorized them in different ways, so I will show you what they all are, at least what they were I was told that they are. And in this little bag here, I'll show you what that is. And then we'll get over here to this big mess, which is a Triceratops femur that is right now severed in half because it was degrading so badly that we had to take it apart, and we're going to glue these ends back together, and then it will be back in its giant state. It's actually a little bit easier to work with apart like this. So hang on one second here. Okay, sorry, let's start this over again. All right. So the same basic pieces that I have here that I was showing you earlier, I'll go through a little bit more explanation. When we were walking through the field out in Baker, Montana, we picked these up in Don Myrick's field. This is kind of cool because it's mica. This is raw formica. You can kind of see how the light goes through it. It's kind of opaque here, but anyway, that's mica chips, and it's raw. This is mica in its raw form. They make like countertops. They make like Formica out of it. Is like a brand name. So I'm going to throw in one of those in the bag for you, just in case you want to check that out. So I got a little bag, and I'll put all these into a box for you. Okay, so next to it are kind of cool. I am pretty sure that what these are is tendon. They told us that this is tendon from a dinosaur that has been fossilized. So, and I don't know, I don't know how they know that, but they know it. So I was going to throw in a piece of tendon for you into your bag here. Now this is kind of a mess over here, but these are all dino parts that we found just laying around on the ground. And you can tell pretty easily because they have, this one is this is my favorite of all of them. This is a Triceratops vertebrae. So you can see right there, it's missing the rest of the bone. It would have come over the top there. That's where the spinal cord would run. So you can see how big that thing is. That's where the Triceratops spinal cord would have run, and it would have had more of it over the top, and it would have had processes coming out and processes coming off the bottom. Okay, that's my favorite. I can't send you that one, but I got all kinds of other parts in here. So this is Dino. So what you're seeing here, you can always tell when you'd pick it up because you'd see the pores, and the pores is the marrow. And once you see that marrow, and sometimes what you'll see is this outside edge of the bone, it's called the cortex. You can see a little better on this piece right here. So you got your marrow right there, and then you got your cortex at the outside of the bone. I'm going to send you this piece right here, okay? I don't know what it's from. No clue. Okay? These are some more parts. I don't know what any of them are, honestly. This has got a curve, and it's still got marrow, and it's still got a little bit of cortex, the outside edge of the bone, so it's kind of got a cool turn to it. I don't know, I have any clue what that stuff is. This is, I'm pretty sure, the end of some bone. It starts to flare here, you can see, and it's broken off from something. So, but it's still got the outside edge of that bone on it. And this was probably rounded, and it probably connects to like an arm or a leg or something, but I have no clue what it's from. So those are pretty cool. This is another little bone part. You can tell it's still got the edge to it. This actually is turtle. This is turtle shell. I put it in the wrong pile, so it needs to go over there. I'll tell you about the turtle. The turtle section is over here, so that's the amphibious water section department over there. So more parts. You can tell it's just got the bone on the outside, marrow on the inside, and these are all bone parts. In fact, I'll send you this one. It's kind of cool. It's got the full thing, and then it's got a little bit of side cross-section of marrow. So I'll send you that one also. The only thing I request is I'd like for you to send me the results if you have any of these things dated on how old some of this stuff is. So that would be really cool. All right, so we get over here to the amphibious section. This is all turtle shell. These turtles would die, and then they would kind of like fall apart on sight, and you can actually take all these little turtle parts and you can reassemble the turtle. It's almost like a puzzle. You can reassemble these turtle parts. Now, these didn't all come from the same area, so I'm going to just send you this one. I'll send you a couple turtle bits. But you can tell it's the turtle because it's got these pores in it right here, okay? That's indicative of turtle. So I'll give you that one. And I'll give you one of these. This is a little bit of a smaller turtle. So the ranch that we stayed on with my friend Don. He owns. He had a Tyrannosaurus Rex pulled off of his property that was called the Y-Rex, W-Y-R-E-X. You should look that up. This is really cool. This is a gar vertebra. The guy told me that you could tell it's fish-based because the fish vertebrae would have these interlocking, like, concave areas in their vertebrae, and like the animal vertebrae don't do that. They interlock. They have like a projection on one end and an acceptance on the other side. So that was something that he knew somehow. I don't know how. So getting over here, this is the petrified section that Don he's found this petrified wood on his property. This was really cool, and we were walking along on the side of the hill in a big old open grass field. This was just laying everywhere, and it's crazy because it looks like wood, but it's stone. It's petrified wood, and it was in this old seaway, which is the same area we found all this stuff, which I'm going to explain to you what it is. So I'm going to give you one of these pieces. This is cool. This is one of my I like those. And this is amber. This is raw amber before it gets kind of cut and put into jewelry and stuff. This is what they, you know, like Jurassic Park stuff, amber. So this stuff is pretty cool. It was all in an old seaway. Okay, if you look up pre-Cretacean seaway, and you'll find there was all these areas within the country in the continental United States that had an ocean in it, and the seaway was in between some oceans. So what you would do is you'd walk along and you'd find this big piece of mud laying on the side of the hill, and then you'd crack it open, and all of a sudden there would be shells inside of it. And this stuff, there's these little dudes in here that are called ammonites, and you should look up ammonites because they get really big. These are relatively small, but these are, you know, my understanding is 50 to 70 million years old is how old these dudes are. That's what they told us. So, but it was really cool because you can tell there's like clay and sediment and stuff in it, but then you'd break it open and there'd be a big old shell inside of it. So I'll send you this one. And I want to send you an ammonite. This is a little guy, but he's an ammonite, and you know, see what you can find out on the dating. That'd be cool. So these are more of your kind of crustacean or you know, seaway invertebrates. These, I understand, are you can walk through like national parks that have fossils, and you can pick these up for free. They're considered non-vertebrates, but you can't pick this kind of stuff up in national parks. But this was private land that we were on. So to continue, I'm going to send you a couple parts from this this Triceratops femur. This thing was all intact when this was the original casing. We used plaster. You can see we wrapped this thing in a plaster of Paris with burlap, soaked plaster, and then we tinfoiled it first, and then we wrapped it, and then that way it stabilizes it in its matrix, what's called matrix. When you first get this thing, it's cased in this mud. This mud is crazy stuff. It's really hard to dig through, and when you're working on cleaning these bones, you kind of work in and you find where the mud is, and you break the mud off. And this one, you can see here, he's got a little bit of mud on him here, but he's getting a little bit cleaner. So you would get this scraped down until you start getting to the bone, and you just go real gentle, you blow it off, and you get it down to bone. And once you start hearing the scrapey, then you're on bone. This is matrix up in here. This is some more mud in here. So we've managed to stabilize some of these end pieces with glue. You use this crazy, it's basically super glue, but they call it paleo bond. And this is 100 viscosity here, and it just soaks into the bone. And in fact, when we found this piece, it was up on the side of a hill, and I can show you, I'll send you some photos of that. But when we were on the downside of the hill, we found these pieces, which had rolled off of this piece as it has degraded. It had been out exposed to the elements probably for hundreds, I don't know, thousands of years. But you could tell, we knew it was the same, from the same dinosaur, because you had this bluish kind of rock, and all this in here is the same bluish rock. And I was actually able to take this piece from the bottom of the hill and bring it back up here and get it to match right back into here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And he goes right back on the end of that bone right there. And that's fallen off of that thing probably 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, who knows how long, and it goes right back on that piece right there. And with that Paleo Bond stuff, I'm going to glue it right back on there. So, and at the bottom of the hill, we also found all these parts. So these parts are all from that Triceratops femur. You can tell with the blue, and I haven't figured out where they go yet, so it's a big old puzzle. So all of these parts go back onto that Triceratops femur. So what I thought I'd do, sometimes I don't know where these pieces, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to know where these pieces go, especially like the black inner ones. Some of them that have the outside edge to them, I'm going to try to find where those go. But some of these are inner parts that I'm probably never going to figure out where they go. So I'll send you a couple of those. Now see, like he's got white on it, so he goes outside somewhere. But I'll find some blue parts for them. They're not going to be huge because I got to try to keep these dudes and put them back into the bone over here, the giant bonage. So I'll get you some of these guys. See, he's got white on him, so I want to keep him. He's going somewhere. I don't know where, but that's got white on him. That means he's been outside. So I'll send you a couple of those pieces, and then you'll know, like he goes on the bone somewhere. I don't know where. Tiny piece, but somewhere on the outside of that bone. So I'll send you some little guys like this. This is from the inside edge of that Triceratops, inside marrow of the Triceratops. So I'll send you this one and this piece. It's kind of small, but I got to figure out how to put these dudes back onto the Triceratops legs. He came out of somewhere in here. So this little clean break right there is going to hook back up to this little clean break over here, and then the bone will be back intact. You can see we had to glue all this. We had to stabilize all this stuff with glue. All these pieces in here, they all wanted to break off and fall off, so we had to use that glue to basically get all the bone parts back in there, and it's practically falling apart as it stands here. So I'm going to have to use a lot more glue. That's why I bought the bulk size of glue. So anyway, that was that's the Dino adventure, and you know, I'll send you your care package here, and hopefully let me know what you find out on these pieces. So have a good one. Talk to you later, Ethan. Bye.